Alexis Christophers from Yahoo Finance is here to talk about, well, open enrollment. But before we get to that, we really want to talk about what's happening in the financial markets, reaction on what's happening on this day as we elect President Donald Trump to office.
Get used to saying that now.
Yeah,
yes.
you know, I was going to say, so, yes, everybody's going to have to get used to that. So let's talk about that. I have to admit, everything looking right now, jittery is the word to kind of describe it.
Yeah, that's a good word. Lots of red arrows. And we saw this happening last night as the results started to pour in. At one point, the Dow futures were down nearly 800 points. So we saw instant panic, a knee-jerk reaction to perhaps a Donald Trump win, because this entire time, Wall Street has been baking in a Clinton win. So they basically got this election wrong. They tried to move very quickly to position themselves in now a Trump presidency.
So is it because they just don't know his anti-free trade stance, NAFTA, all of those things kind of rolled into one that the market just doesn't know where to go?
Exactly. Uncertainty is the nemesis of Wall Street. They like to know that things are going to be status quo. And now with Donald Trump in office, it'll be anything but status quo. There are concerns about trade policies. He's said many times he wants to rip up NAFTA. What's that going to mean to our large multinational companies? You know, on the flip side, though, he wants to get rid of Obamacare, and that could actually help prescription drug companies and healthcare stocks. So that's a sector to look at going forward.
All right, and there's going to be a lot to look at going forward, and we thank you for that little insight. Let's talk about open enrollment. So what does that mean right now? What are the things that we should know right now as we sit here on this Wednesday?
First thing you need to know is the deadline.
Yeah.
So it started November 1. You can enroll until January 31st of 2017. If you want your coverage to go into effect January 1, you have to sign up by December 15th. So mark that on your calendar. First thing we want to know, what's your out-of-pocket cost, right? Premiums can go up, deductibles can go up year to year. Understand what you're going to be paying out of pocket. And guess what? Lower premiums don't always translate into lower medical costs, because we know you pay a price for the lower premium. You may have to pay a higher deductible because of this. Also, copays can change year to year.
Copays might be another thing that you're going to have to look at.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your family and how you're able to talk about your family and their needs when you're looking at that.
It's tough, right? Because you can't look into the future and go, these are going to be my medical needs
going forward. There's no crystal ball for that.
But there are some life-changing events that the healthcare industry calls life-changing events. Will a baby be coming into the picture? Are you getting married? Will you no longer be on your spouse's insurance? If you can set yourself up ahead of time, are you going to be going in for surgeries? Do you see a hospital stay in your future? So that can help you also decide.
Let's talk about prescriptions. What do we need to know about that?
Really important, and it's quick. You know, you can look on the plan and see, are the regular prescription drugs I take covered? If they're not, remember, drugs go by lots of different names, including generics. So see if your drugs are on there.
And lastly, of course, your doctors never know when they're in network, out of network, and you never know when a plan changes, and it changes year to year.
It does. What I actually do as part of my house cleaning at the end of the year, I call my doctors. Hey, are you still on my insurance
network,
plan? That's the easiest way to do it. And then if you choose to stay with a doctor who's out of your network, understand what those out-of-pocket costs are before your first visit.
Out of curiosity, bottom line, is any of this going to change now with the new president?
Oh, the healthcare?
Yeah.
In the biggest of ways. Probably the single biggest industry that will change under a Trump presidency will be healthcare, and that's why those healthcare stocks are ones to look at. And by the way, not to panic people, but all of this selling, I spoke to a lot of traders yesterday. It's a knee-jerk reaction. When the dust settles, and it will, huge buying opportunity. You can buy stocks at a deep discount.
You know what they say, sell high, buy low, and that's how the market goes. Hopefully we all get in and make some money. Alexis, thank you so much from Yahoo Finance. We'll have a recap for you, and of course we'll be covering the markets throughout the show extensively. Click on our Pix 11 app and click on the extra tab, and all the information will be right there.